Guys, I want to talk to you about something that I've been noticing. I've been noticing that men are allowing society to collapse. Not just older men, but younger men, because younger men make up a large proportion of this. Because younger men, they make everything work in society. And you guys, you're a part of this also. Okay? So just I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean, so please hear me out.
So imagine living in a world that shames you and belittles you and turns you into a second class citizenship and then gets mad when you walk away, right? They get mad when you don't sign up for the army. They get mad when you don't marry and pay taxes. This is what happens when you abuse your population of men and they start to walk away. Guys, it's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back on Angry Guys YouTube channel. Guys, if you haven't heard of me, as your boy Andy Matrix, I talk about anime, gaming, Japanese culture on my YouTube channel. So go ahead and check it out. Click the link in the description and go ahead and give me a follow and subscribe to my channel. And guy, help this, help Angry Guys YouTube channel get pushed into the algorithm. Like this video, comment below, everybody. And make sure to check out Angry Guys Rumble because he's got new content that he's uploading over there. Content that he's not allowed to upload on YouTube. So go ahead and check that out. Click the link in the description. And guys, as the economy is going down, we've lost millions of jobs. I think there's about 7 million people unemployed. That number is growing. We are reaching Great Depression levels of unemployment and poverty in this country, so much that people are living in their cars and looking for other ways to make money. That is why Angry Guy created the Angry Content Creator Academy. So if you want to learn how to do what Angry Guys does and build an income online, build an audience, and create a digital product that will start generating income, then check out Angry Guys Content Creator Academy. Okay, you will learn how to build a business online and create a digital product and start saying goodbye to the 9 to 5 as jobs are disappearing. So go ahead and click the link in the description and sign up to Angry Guys Content Creator Academy. And now, let's get on with the show. So, men walking away is collapsing society. And many women, as well as politicians, are screaming and yelling, "Where are all the men? Where are all the men? Where are all the men?" Right? Like always. But hey, I thought that society does not need men. I thought that men were useless. I thought that men were useless, society doesn't need men, and I thought that the bear was more friendly, right? I thought the bear was friendly. So then go ahead, go and hang out with Yoki and Boo Boo. I had to steal that line from Angry. So today we are reacting to a YouTube channel called Keeping It Real with Drell. She's going to cover this topic. So let's go ahead and see what she's got to say.
Guys, I want to talk to you about something that I've been noticing. I've been noticing that men are allowing society to collapse. Not just older men, but younger men, because younger men make up a large proportion of this. Because younger men, they make everything work in society. And you guys, you're a part of this also. Okay? So just I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean, so please hear me out. Do you know what's down right now? Do you know what's on the decline right now? Birth rates. Birth rates are on the decline. And do you know what else is on the decline right now? What's down right now? Marriage rates. Marriage rates are at an all-time low.
Oh, and trust me, darling, it's going to get even worse. Yeah, it's going to get even worse. And have you guys heard about those incubators? Those baby incubators? Like, there's scientists, there's laboratories where like they're growing human babies in like these pods, right? In like these like these glass containers. Yeah, that we have the science to do that. So when the government can produce humans without women, what do you think? Who's gonna be useless in this society, right? Now, and then you got the female robots, right? You got men dating female robots now, and the science is getting more and more and more realistic, right? And so a lot of these guys are gonna just get a female robot and get it over with it. But it's not gonna be the same for women. It's not gonna be the same for females, because one of the reasons why girls date, why women date men, is for resources, and it's for resources, right? So why would you date a robot that's not gonna give you any of those resources, right? So she's gonna have to keep working at a job that she hates, right? And you know, and the government is what the government's gonna do. And you know, a lot of people don't believe this, but what they're gonna do is, like, they're gonna tell these women, either you have a child, either you get pregnant, have a baby, or I don't know, or that we're gonna force you to do it, or we're gonna make you do something else. Like, we're going into this dystopian future, like, for real. You guys think this is a joke? You guys think this is a joke? It's coming. It's coming. But yeah, you know, marriage rates are collapsing because, you know, why get married? Why get married? Well, you have the law against you. You got the law against you. Why would you bother getting married? It's like everything in this society is working against men. And right now, what's happening is there's laws being reversed. There's law being reversed so that, you know, to convince men to actually get married. But, you know, I don't think it's going to happen, especially during this economic downturn. People are trying to save money, and dating and marriage cost money. That's the problem. And especially American women, they're not willing to lower their standards. They're not willing to go 50-50. They're not willing to do that, right? So and men play it very smart. Men are very, very smart. We always calculate, and we just think, okay, well, why bother? Why bother with a relationship when I can just stay single and save thousands of dollars a month? That's what I did. That's how I got myself out of debt. That's how I got myself out of a lot of trouble. You know, just being single, saving money, and traveling the world. You know? So, yeah. It's coming. And it doesn't matter if the government tries to create new laws that will benefit men. I think the damage has been done. The damage has been done so much that a lot of men are just like, you know what? I'm very grateful that you remove all these stupid laws that go against men. But like, these females have become absolutely so intolerable that now I don't really care anymore. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to take my passport and go to Mexico, go to Colombia, Eastern Europe, go to Japan, go to China, Russia, Philippines, Thailand, everywhere else where women love men. But America and the Western world is just, you know, going down the toilet. Let's get back to our video.
At an all-time low. Yeah, it's on a big decline, and I think this is the biggest decline that we've had for decades. And it's probably the longest decline period. And it's down drastically. So we have birth rates on decline. We have marriage on decline. So what is that saying? Do you know what it's saying? Well, I'm going to tell you. It's saying that men are no longer proposing to women. Men are no longer asking women to marry them. And men no longer want families. Men are no longer knocking these women up. So the telltale signs are there. All of these men are seeing what's going on. They're catching on to this. They're seeing what's going on with other men. Other men are being thrown into the ringer. Other men are being dragged in court and having everything taken away from them. And these young men are witnessing this. So you know what they're saying? They're saying, well, I'm not playing that game. Why play that game? Why should I get involved in this? That's what they're saying, because they're seeing all of this stuff go on. So they're not going to play that game. So they're pretty much walking away from that.
Exactly. Exactly. And why play a game that you know you're going to lose? Because in the West, the game is set up for you to lose. The rules are made for you to lose. You know, it's not a game where, like, whoever does best, right? Whoever is the best wins. No. I mean, there's even millionaires. There's millionaires that are leaving the West. There's millionaires that don't even want to date anymore. They don't want to get married because they know the consequences. There's a lot of millionaire dudes that they're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna marry. I'm just gonna have like 2, 3 girls. I'm gonna rotate. I'm gonna be polygamous. Whenever I need some loving, I'll just call one of my girls and that's it. I'll make them sign a prenup. I'll put cameras in my apartment in case they try to do something funny. This is how crazy it's gotten. This is how crazy it's gotten. It's like, you. A lot of dudes feel like they gotta put fucking cameras in their own apartment. So in case one of these chicks tries to do something crazy, they got footage. They got video footage, so that they can have a chance at winning in court. Imagine that. And guys, pay attention, because the economy is falling down. The economy is going down the drain. We've lost millions and millions of jobs, right? There's a lot of people unemployed. There's a lot of people going homeless, living in their cars, going home to live with mom and dad. There's people struggling a lot. And as it's getting harder and harder to find a job, a lot of people are being pushed to start their own side hustles. And this is one of the reasons why the Angry Guy created the Content Creator Academy, right? Where you can learn how to create content and start generating income by creating a digital product. Okay, so check out Angry Guy's Content Creator Academy, where you learn how to basically do the same thing that Angry Guy does: start a digital business, create a digital product, build an audience, build an audience, and start your own online business. If you sign up today, you get a free guide. Click the link in the description. Check out the Content Creator Academy. Now let's go back to our video.
So that's where the decline is coming in, because men are walking away from these types of situations that they're seeing. So with the marriage being on a decline, birth rates are on a decline, and the higher ups, the people that are behind the scenes, they are well aware of this. They see what's going on, but they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to talk about it, but they're secretly panicking. Okay? They know that the birth rates are at an all-time low. They know this. And like I said, they're panicking. And you know why they're panicking? Because they're thinking to themselves, well, if the birth rates are low, there's no babies being born, so who's going to be the future taxpayers?
Ah, yes, politicians and their taxes. Politicians and their taxes. I always love it. I absolutely love it how it always comes down to money. Money, 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 money. It's always about money. So it's about the money. So it's about getting people, taxpayers. But realize it's not about convincing people to have more babies so that we can maintain our beautiful country, so that we can maintain our beautiful culture, right? So that we can have a good culture, so that we can have a good families here in America, in the West, in Western countries. No. Politicians are worried that the birth rate is going down because they're worried that there's not going to be enough taxpayers. There's not going to be enough workers to fill their pockets with the people's tax money that they steal. Yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. Marriage is about the money. Okay, forget love. It's God, especially in America, God is not in marriage. A lot of churches, when you get married, they get, the pastor or the priest, They have to get paperwork from the government saying that you two got married. So God is not even in the middle anymore. You know, churches have betrayed the people too. The people don't get married under God. People get married under the government. And whatever the government touches turns to shit. Whatever they touch turns to shit. Because like I said, like politicians and the government itself, they don't really know how to solve problems, right? To solve problems, you need engineers, you need entrepreneurs, you need, specialists, right? But instead, they just create new laws. New laws that many people don't even know exist, by the way. Right? And there are laws that women can use against men, even if she's not married to you. If you're living with a girlfriend, right? There's things there are laws that she can use to use against you, so that you will have to pay. There are laws that can turn you into that can put you in child support, even if you are not the biological father, right? And the churches say absolutely nothing about this. They say absolutely nothing about this. It is disgusting, bro. It is disgusting. A lot of these churches, and you wonder why why men left the church. It's because of this. Especially in America, churches are about the women. They worry more about the women. They don't give a shit about the men. They don't give a shit about the men. You got a problem as a man. You go to your priest. It's like they don't want to help you. They don't even want to help you. That's how bad it is. That's just ridiculous, man. So what's the point? What's the point?
Who's going to be the future workers? So that's what I mean when I say that men are allowing society to collapse and to crumble. Okay? And you know what else men are walking away from? Do you know what else is on the decline? Do you know what other entity is kind of on the decline? The armed services. Men are walking away from that. Men are not signing up for the armed services like they used to. They're not signing up. 10, 20 years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you could not stop a patriotic young man from going down to the recruiter's office and signing up to be in the armed services. It's not happening anymore. They're walking away from that. And these recruiters are also panicking because no one's signing up anymore. So what they're doing is they're offering these incentives. Okay, they're often offering these big sign-in bonuses. And these sign-in bonuses is a lot of money. It's like thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to sign in, because no one's doing that anymore. Guys aren't signing up anymore.
And why would you? Why would you sign up to fight for a country that hates you? Why would you fight for a country that hates you? I mean, think about it. And young people know this, especially Gen Z and millennials. We know this more than anybody because we live on the internet. Information travels at the speed of light. We know how corrupt the government is. We know how much, and forget corruption. We know how much, the agenda, the politicians' agenda is always against men. The castration of men, the pussification of men. Everything from testosterone, the media, entertainment, video games, movies. The message is there. The message is there to dumb you down. The message is there to make men look like idiots and make the female look like she's way stronger. When in reality, it's not like that. In reality, it's not like that. And they know it. They just don't care. There is nothing to fight for anymore. And there is a war. There's a war on the horizon. But guess what? Nobody's going to sign up. They're going to have to force people to join the military. That's what's going to happen. They're gonna have to force people to join the military. There's got to be military men knocking on your door, forcing men to go. The draft, they're gonna have to bring out the draft, and that's one of the reasons why. This is a bit of a conspiracy theory. A bit of a conspiracy theory. That's one of the reasons why the people at the top are trying to collapse the economy, is to build up the army, and one of the reasons why. What's the name of that program? That program that they took away that helps people find jobs? Oh, Job Corp. Job Corp. Job Corp is one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why the government took away Job Corp. That's one of the reasons, right? Because Job Corp used to help young men, especially from the age of like 16 all the way to 25. It helps young men get out of homelessness, learn a trade like to be an electrician or a plumber, and go into and get a career. And they took that away. And when there's no other option, what are poor people going to do? They're going to join the military. This is how they're going to grow their military. And again, it's just a conspiracy theory. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please, government agencies, don't come after me. Excuse me, guys. I'm a little under the weather. But yeah, there's no reason to join the military. You're fighting for nothing. You're fighting what? Against yourself? Yeah, you're fighting against yourself, and you're fighting a war for rich people that hate you, and they assisted in the destruction of your country. That's what you're fighting for.
But they're walking away from that. No matter how much money they're being offered, they're not taking up on that deal. They're not doing it. So with men walking away, no matter what type of incentive, no matter what type of sign-in bonus that these recruiters are offering young men, they're not going for it. They're like, why should I do this? They're walking away from it. And guys, I'm going to tell you something about myself. I read a lot. I do a lot of research. Okay, whether it's ashore or abroad, I do research because I want to keep up with the current events and to things that's going on. And with that being said, I did some research, and it said that since the 1950s, since the 1950s, this is the lowest that it's been for men to sign up for the armed forces. It's the lowest that it's been since the 1950s. So if there was a global conflict that was to happen, what do you think that means? You know what that means? They're going to come knocking on your door, and to get you that way. I'm not going to say the word, but you guys know what I'm talking about. They're going to have to come knocking on your door and get you that way. That's the only way that that's going to happen, with men walking away from signing into the armed forces. Men are finding other ways to make money, to earn income. They're at home, they're on their computers, on their laptops, making a living, and they're loving it. So as a result of that, by men taking a step back and no longer want anything to do with this at all, they're taking a step back. And because you men are taking a step back, this is what's happening. These entities are failing right before our eyes. They're failing because you men are deciding to take a step back. Do you know what other entity, what other industry is failing and is on a decline as well? The jewelry industry. The jewelry industry. Yeah, they're losing billions and billions of dollars, billions with the capital B.
Are you starting to realize why they are afraid of men walking away? The reason why they're afraid of men walking away is because men pay most of the bills. Not only do we maintain society from the roads, the sewage system, the electric grid, petroleum, buildings, infrastructure, We maintain all of this crap. And men usually, more often than not, men usually make more money than women, right? Because they work in all these fields. So men pay more taxes than women. So if the men are walking away, there's a huge chunk of taxes that are, that are also leaving, right? That's what's happening. A huge chunk of taxes that are leaving. But also, there's because men spend a lot of money in industries, for example, sports, right? Sports like the NFL, basketball, baseball, all of these. It's usually a bunch of dudes that go see these games. They bring their families, right? The people that support these sports are usually men. So when men decide, you know what, I'm not gonna watch football or baseball anymore, those industries are gonna collapse in America. Okay. The lady said jewelry. Yeah, men are not getting married, so why would they buy jewelry? Why would you spend $500, $1,000 on a piece of jewelry? Just walk away. Keep your money in your pocket. Spend that $1,000 on a trip to Japan. Do you see the power? Do you see the power that is happening? And some of you are going to say, oh, well, a lot of men are just living with their moms in the basement. No, because if you read the statistics, Gen Z men are actually becoming more Christian than Gen Z females. Gen Z women are being more liberal. Gen Z men are being more religious, more Christian than any other group of people. And a lot of these men, they're finding other ways to make money. A lot of them are leaving the country. A lot of them are learning some type of skill, right? A lot of them are forming groups. They are forming groups. Yeah, groups. They are forming groups. And basically joining forces and starting businesses together to fight against the system, and just leaving the country altogether. That's like one of the best solutions. One of the best solutions really is just to get up and leave. It's really to just get up and leave. That's like one of the best solutions that anybody can think of, that men can think of, right? But again, the power of men. So it's not that men are being absolute lazies, just straight up couch potatoes. No, they're thinking of ways of reliving their life. They're restructuring their life so that the government cannot take advantage of them. Right? So that the government cannot take advantage of them, and so that they can continue generating an income. And they're going to other countries to find a wife. Women that are more friendly. They're becoming more religious. They're getting closer to Jesus Christ, right? Getting closer to the Lord, to God. Which is kind of amazing. Men are getting closer to God. And women are becoming more liberal, which is, anti-God, against God. You see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening here? That's why they are afraid. They want to pretend, oh, we don't need men, and then this happens. Now the politicians are panicking. Yeah. We're here, guys. We are here.
They're losing. And you know why? Remember when I said that marriage rates are on a decline? Well, that's because you guys are no longer going in these jewelry stores and buying that big rock to put on her finger. You're no longer going in the jewelry store to buy that promise ring or that diamond choker or that diamond necklace or diamond earrings, bracelets, whatever the case may be. You're no longer doing that. So therefore, these jewelry companies, they're losing big time. They are. A lot of them are going out of business, like K Jewelers, all those jewelry stores are going out of business because you guys aren't buying jewelry for women anymore. You're not doing it. So see what happens when you take a step back? Do you understand what I'm saying now when I say that men are allowing society to collapse? Because you guys are taking a step back. You're no longer doing those things that you used to do. And when people say men are not needed, that is such a lie. Don't listen to that. That is not true. Because you see what's happening when you guys step back. So you are needed. So don't listen to them when they say that you're not needed, because you guys vote with your wallets. And let's take it a step further. Do you know what other industry is failing? The club industry is failing. The club industry used to be really jumping off back in the 90s, the 2000s, the mid 2000s, like 2006. But you guys aren't going to, you men aren't going to the clubs as much as you used to anymore. You're not doing that anymore. You used to, couldn't wait to like Friday night or the Saturday night, the weekends to go to the clubs. Even some of you would probably go during the weekday. Some of you maybe, to have a drink with your buddies or whatever. But you're no longer going to the clubs anymore. You'd rather stay home, okay?
Okay, as somebody that has actually gone to nightclubs, yes, I go to nightclubs. And when in my early 20s, when I started going to nightclubs, I thought it was cool. But then later on, you kind of get tired of it, because it's not the best place to meet girls. It really isn't. Especially now, it's even worse. But back then, it's like, if you want to get married, like finding a girl at a bar, that's like the worst place, or a nightclub. That is the worst place to meet them at. Nightclubs, they were designed for hookups. To put it bluntly, is designed for hookups. You go there, you dance with a girl, and then you bring her, you buy her a drink or whatever. Then you start talking, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go back to my place, to my apartment, to watch to watch Sailor Moon. And then she's like, oh yeah, I love Sailor Moon. And then you're like, oh yeah, we can go and chill at my place then. And then you go and chill at your place to watch Sailor Moon, but you're not really gonna watch Sailor Moon. You're gonna go do the bang bang bang. You're gonna go do the horizontal, what do you call it? The horizontal boogie. Okay, but now it's like, you go to a nightclub and like nobody wants to dance. Nobody wants to like people are not dancing at nightclubs anymore. What the fuck? Nightclubs are not for dancing anymore. People go there, they look at their phone, and then the girls, they're just like asking guys to buy them drinks. Like, you don't even dance with the dude. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, nightclubs are pretty much a scam. It's a scam. And then of course, the guys know that girls can get into the nightclubs for free, depending on how hot they are. The hotter the girl, the more likely she is to get in for free. And in nightclubs, especially Gen Z learned that nightclubs, they are just designed to extract money from men, because they just bring in the hot girls, and then when guys go in there, they can't even get the hot girls. It's just designed to extract money out of you. Yeah, it's just. Hey, do you think that maybe nightclubs are just another government agency, like the IRS, just to extract money from you? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Are nightclubs working for the government? That's what I want to know.
So the club owners are losing a lot of money. First of all, ladies' night, women get in for free or half price, but men have to pay full price. So they're on the decline because they're not making any money. If women are getting in for free or half price and men are paying full price, but men are no longer going to the clubs, how are they making their money? And these women even get on TikTok and they say that, the club scene, when they go, they only see other females. There may be one or two guys there, but just other women there. So that really puts a damper on the word ladies' night, because ladies are getting in free. So therefore, these club owners aren't making any money at all. And another thing, their revenue is down, because when you're at the club, who's buying these women drinks? The guys are. The men are buying these women drinks. So since men aren't there anymore at the clubs, these women are buying their own drinks. and they claim they have so much money, but they're not buying many drinks. You know, $15 for a beer. You guys were doing that. So yes, the club industry is on the decline because you guys are no longer taking any part in that anymore. You're just not doing it. You'd rather stay at home. And I don't blame you. This is why I said the club scene was really jumping way back when and not now. Is because remember that song, Lean With It, Rock With It by them Franchise Boys? That's all I could hear. Even in Japan where they could hardly, speak English, but they loved that, they were dancing to that. So that's why I said the club scene was really jumping back then, but not anymore because you guys don't want to be a part of that. And you guys are catching on because you guys watch my channel, you watch, other related content, and you're catching on to this. If you did go to a club or try to talk to a young lady, and you text her the next day or whenever, she would read your text and just automatically leave you on red and ghost you. So you're like, why deal with this? Why? So that's why you guys are walking away from all of these things. So yeah, when anyone says to you guys that you're not needed, that's not true. That is the biggest lie. So don't listen to that, because you're very much needed. And you can see by all the things that I've been talking about, you're needed. Because whenever you walk away, you see what happens. Everything goes on the decline. Everyone loses money. And everyone suffers when you men walk away. So you're most definitely needed. So never let anyone tell you that you're not needed. Because look at what's happening with society. It's crumbling. It's collapsing. So that's what I meant when I said that you guys are allowing society to collapse. That's what I meant. And that's the point that I wanted to get across to you guys. So again, never let anybody say that you're not needed, because you are. Because you can see the writing on the wall. It's happening right before our very own eyes. Okay? Okay, guys. So that's all I have for this one.
But I thought we don't need men. Men are useless. Men are useless. Men are pathetic. We don't need men. Men are pathetic. We don't, the bear is better. Yogi and Boo Boo. Like, we don't need men. We live in a comfortable society. We're not in the 1950s anymore. Men are not needed. We can live by ourselves. Get our own jobs. In corporations that are owned mostly by men. We don't need men to run the electric grid. For new infrastructure. We don't need them for any of that. Oh, we have modern day technology that can do all those things. We don't need men. We don't need men. What the heck? Yeah, the biggest lie. The biggest lie told to mankind. In the New Age, if you go to these New Age practices like law of attraction, gemstones, meditation, chakras, kundalini, all that stuff, in the New Age communities, a lot of people believe that the creator, God, is female because, they say, obviously, well, we are born from the female, so we must have all come from the woman, the female. Right? But in the Bible, which is the one and only spiritual book written that has a track record, okay, a track record, being the only spiritual book in history that was written. The original story is that God created man first. God created the man first, and he created the man first to manage the world, to have dominion over the world. right? And then he created the female. He created the female second, right? So there's a lot of lies being told in this world that men are not needed. Because if that were true, then the Bible, then the Bible would have just said, oh well, the female was created first. You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to push my spiritual beliefs here, but I'm just trying to give you an example, right? They say that men are not needed, but it's men that build societies, the roads, the buildings, the infrastructure. Without these things, our families will not be protected. Look, I think it was Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle said a joke that always resonates me. That always resonated with me. He said, if a man could have sex with a woman on top of a cardboard box, he wouldn't buy a house. He wouldn't build a house. But he builds a house to protect his woman. Chicks don't build houses. Chicks don't build houses. Come on. You ever seen a chick build a house? I like to see that. And don't get me wrong, there are girls in construction, obviously, but not to the same number as men. Men are builders. But the liberals, the left wing society, they have you think they want you to think that, oh no, they want you to think that, oh no, men are not important. Women can live without a man. And one of the things that baffles me the most is that there's parents, right? There's parents that raise their daughter to not need a man ever. Yeah. I've run into these types of people. They think it's cool. They think that's that's the best decision for their daughters. But hey, I'm gonna end the video here. There's a lot more that we could say about this, but I'm gonna end it here. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. Guys, it's your boy and the Matrix. Godspeed, baby.